Hey guys, we're going to do a quick lesson on surface area. Okay, surface area is area that is on the surfaces of any given prism or solid, like this box right here. This box has a surface right here, 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 and here, and here. There's 6 sides, right? 6 faces. We call these faces here, the ones that go around, we call them lateral faces, okay? Because they're on the lateral area. The top and the bottom are considered bases. This is a base, and this is a base down here. So there's 2 bases, 2 rectangular bases, okay? Some people call this the top base, the bottom base, the sides, right here, the 2 sides, the front, and the back. But if you notice, the sides will have the same area. So if this, we're going to calculate the area shortly, but this area is the same as this area. And the front is going to have the same area as the back. And the top is going to have the same area as the bottom. So if you calculate one of those areas, you times it by 2 to get both of those sides combined. And we'll talk about that in a second. So let's do an example. So what I did was I took a cereal box and I covered it up so you wouldn't know what brand I ate, just in case, being a little secretive. And anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to measure each side. So I got my little marker. Hopefully it won't run out on me. I'm going to take my ruler, and we can use inches or centimeters. I'm going to use inches. I'm going to round it to the closest inch. So this, as you can tell, it's close to about 11 inches. So I'm going to say this is about 11 inches. 11 inches high is about how high it is, okay? So 11 inches. All right, so that's 11. And then this side going across is going to be about 6.5. So I'm going to say 6.5, okay? I don't want to round it to 7 because I think it's a little bit too big. So 6.5 inches is about how wide it is, okay? And then the width here looks to be about 2 inches. Yeah, it's about 2 inches. So we're going to say 2 inches here. All right, so that's all you need. You just need those 3 measurements. You need the height of the object, the width, right? And the width of the actual front part, and then the width of the actual box. Some people would call this the base, 6.5 inches. We could put it on the bottom here. That could be the base, right? The length of the base. This is the height, 11 inches. And then the width of the actual rectangular prism or solid is 2 inches. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to find out the area of each side, okay? So this is a 6.5 by 11. So how do we find the area of a rectangle? We multiply the base times the height, or the length times the width, okay? The length and width are synonymous for base and height, okay? And the reason why is because length and width, when you lay it down, that's what we call it, length and width, right? So length and width. But when you rise it up, nothing changes. The dimensions still stay the same. We just call it base and height because now it's standing up, right? It's perpendicular to the ground. It's going up and down, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of math. I'll go ahead and do it on here. So 6.5 times 11. So we're going to calculate this area. Okay, 65, 0, 65 again, add them up, 1 decimal here, 1 decimal here. So this is going to be 71.5 inches squared for this side. So if it's 71.5 for the front, it's going to be 71.5 for the back because they have the same dimensions. So this one's going to be 71.5. Okay, inches squared. Got it? So now you've got the front and you've got the back. Well, we've got four more to go. We've got the top, the bottom, and the sides. All right, let's talk about the sides real quick. All right, so the side is a 2-inch width here, and the length or the height, remember, was 11 inches. So this is a 2 by 11, all right? You could put 11 here if you wanted to, but we don't need to do that because if this is 11, you know this is 11 too. So 2 times 11 is going to give you the area of this rectangle, which is 22. So this is going to be 22 inches squared. So if this is 22 inches squared, that means the back side, or the other side if you will, is going to also be 22 inches. So now we've got the front, we've got the back, we've got the sides, and the only thing we got left is the top and the bottom. The top, if you take a look, okay, let's look at our dimensions. All right, remember the top is a 6.5 inches in length, and remember the width we said was 2 inches. So what you want to do is you want to take 6.5 times it by 2 to get this area right here. So 6.5 times 2 is going to be about 13 inches squared. I do the work on there, but I'd run out of space quickly. So 13 inches squared. If that's for the top, you know it's going to be the same for the bottom because they have the same dimensions, they have the same shape and everything. So this is also going to be 13 inches squared. Okay, and you're almost done. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take each area of each side, right, of each face, and you're going to add them together. So what I did was I have a dry erase board right here. Okay, let's see if I could, hopefully I can fit this all in the camera. All right, so we got 71.5. That was for the front. 71.5 for the back. The sides were 22 each, so it's 22 and 22. The top and the bottom was 13. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add them all up. Okay, make sure you line up your decimals. So let's make sure I can get a little bit closer here. There we go. Line up your decimals. I'm gonna add a 0 here. Not that I'm changing the number any. Just wanna make sure I hold my place here so I don't get confused. 5 plus 5 is 10. Bring down to my decimal, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. 7 plus 7 is 14, 15, 17, 19, 20, 21. So this means it's going to be 213 inches squared. 213 inches squared is the total surface area of this cereal box. Okay? Again, this is surface area. This is not volume. Okay, volume, by the way, volume, since we're on that right now, just because I said we are, you take the width, right, or the base times height, and times it by the thickness or the width of the actual prism, and that's it. You just multiply all 3 dimensions together, and you've got your volume. In that case, that would be what? 6.5 times 11 was 71.5, and then you take 71.5 times it by 2, and that would get about 143. About 143. That would be your volume, but we're going to do that later. Surface area is the most important part. You find the area of each side, of each face, add them all together, and you're done. Okay, now, I've got another one. Now, I know this video might be a little long. It's about 9 minutes right now. So we're going to do the same thing with this thing. This is a copier box. I bought some paper the other day. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to measure each face, okay? So I'm going to measure the top. And I think instead of using this, I'm going to use my tape measure, okay? So my tape measure, you can tell it's 18, all right? So it's 18 in width. Let's see, I'll switch to a different marker here. So this is 18 inches in width, or that could be my base, if you will, right? The height of the front is, let's see, okay, 11.5. So So the height is 11.5. So 18 is the base, the height is 11.5. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna multiply the base, which is 18 inches, times the height, and then I should get my area, okay? So 18, I'll do 18 on the bottom, 11.5 on top. Okay, so I'm gonna multiply just like that. So let's do that. So 40, 8, 12, 8, 9, 0, 5, 1, 1. Add them up. 0, 7, 0, 1, 2, 1 decimal. So this is 207 inches squared just for the front of it, okay? That's just for the front. Now, again, the front and the back are gonna have the same exact dimensions. This is also going to be 18, all right? So the base is 18 inches. How do I know? Well, because the front was 18 inches wide. If this is 18 inches wide, right, it's 18 inches wide here as well. So that's how I know this is 18 inches wide. All right, so 18 inches wide by 11.5. And again, I don't have to do the math because I've already done it. But those are the dimensions. If the front is 207, we know the back is 207. Okay? 207 inches squared. So the front is 207, the back is 207. So I'm gonna write that down somewhere. And a lot of times what I do is, I'll write it down like on a piece of paper. What I'll typically do is I'll say, okay, front and back. And you can do this as a net diagram. Sometimes I don't, I just write it down. I go 207 for the front, 207 for the back, okay? And so I just notate it. I write it down somewhere so I won't forget. And then what I got left is I've got my sides, right? My two sides. And then I've got my back, my bottom, my top, right? Bottom and top. Okay, so I'm gonna call this my front right here. I'll call this my front and my back, just for now. You could call this your top and bottom. But for me, I'm gonna call this the front and that the back. Might as well, since I've already got it written up there. Okay, so let's take a look at the sides. The sides are right here. Okay, these are the sides where my hands are at. So let's calculate the base and the height of this triangle. So it's about 9, roughly. A little less than 9.5, so I'm gonna say about 9. And the height is about 11. It's gonna be a little bit, it's about 11.5. I'm gonna say 11.5, okay? So 9 by 11.5. So I'm gonna write that down. So this is 9 inches, and this is 11.5, 11.5. So what I'm gonna do is multiply base times height. So 11.5, 11.5 times 9. 9 times 1 is 9, 9 plus 4 is 13. 9 times 1 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. So this is 103.5. So 103.5 inches squared. That's going to be the area of the side, of one of the sides. So if this is 103.5, you know the other side is going to be 103.5. So I'm going to write that down, 103.5. And so over here in my notes, so I can keep good track of it, where it says sides, I'm going to put 103.5 plus another 103.5 because that's for my other side. Okay? So far I've got my front, back, my sides. Now all I've got left is my top and bottom. So back to the box. So I did my front, my back, my sides. All I got is this top part and the bottom part, okay? So the top, let's measure. So the base is 18. The height is 9, or 9.5. So it's 18. So this is an 18 by 9.5, 9.5. So 18 times 9.5, let's see what that's going to turn out to be, okay? It's going to be, let's see, 40, 72, 76, 0, 95, 0, 1, 1, 16, 17, 171. So 171 inches squared for the top, and then 171 inches squared for the bottom. Okay, because the top and the bottom are going to have the same exact area, the same exact dimensions. So 171 top, 171 on the bottom. And so now, once you've got all 6 sides, right? Once you've got all 6, the front, back, the sides, the top, the bottom, everything, you add them up. So that's what we're going to do. So let's do that. So 207 plus 207 is 414. 103.5 plus 103.5 is going to be 207. 171 plus 171 is 2411. So it's going to be 342, I believe. If I did my mental math correct. Yep, I think I did. All right, now let's add them all up. So it's just a little bit easier to do it this way. Sorry. If you can't really see, I apologize. So 4 plus 7 is 11, plus 2 is 13. 2, 6, 6, 9. So this is 963 inches squared. So that's going to be the total surface area of this box. Now, why might that be important? Because a lot of times what happens is if you go to the store and you're looking for wrapping paper, if you're going to wrap this up, put a gift in it or something, the wrapping paper will tell you the dimensions. Sometimes it'll tell you, it'll give you inches, or sometimes even yards, cubed or squared. It'll give you how much of paper you have, so that when you buy it, you know if you have enough to cover this up. Not a lot of people are going to do that. I'll be honest, I don't do that. I just buy it and hope and pray it works, okay? But again, this is how you calculate it. Hopefully it helps. Let me know. I would say let me know in the comments, but this is a kid-friendly video. So shoot me an email, or I'll catch you on Zoom, all right? Or in the next video. God bless, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.